Hello everybody and welcome. New tournament match, this time a Blitz tournament. People play for keeps. Has some exciting matches up ahead. This one is against a Soviet self-damage deck. It's a long battle of attrition. If you want to skip ahead to the next match, I understand. There's no real decisive moment where I win the game. I just wear him out and then he surrenders. Great thing about these French decks is, if they attack your HQ, it doesn't give you stress. You know you have more HQ healing coming. It's better to take out his routed unit than leave it at all. I know he has that Soviet card that can do 1 damage to his infantry and 5 damage to yours. It's not worth leaving anything on the field when you're facing that. I don't need to rush with these Finnish infantry. It's going to take them a turn to get to the front line. So I'm not going to blow my suppression cards just yet. I think hard about this, but I decide I do want to delay at least one of his units from getting to the front line. I'm alright sacrificing that Jaeger. That's a very lucky discard that he wasn't able to use that T-34 tank. That one's devastating and can push right up to your HQ. He's still not immediately at my HQ, so I've got time. I can stop my Moroccans. I'm not under any immediate pressure. He seems to like that Lotus Svard card. Personally, I find it very underwhelming. But maybe that's because I have so many suppression cards. But even so, at this point I'm using suppression just to draw. Not because his units are particularly dangerous. I do use suppression there to get rid of his, what's that term? I think it's shock. Yes, it's shock. I wanted to get rid of his shock. There's an argument to be made that I should have used the suppression on his other Finnish infantry as well, so he'd have to spend a credit operating it. Right now it's attacking at 0. He has 5 credits left. If I had suppressed it, he'd have 4. Which doesn't seem to matter because he has 2 left over, so that still was luckily the right choice. This is unlucky. I thought I could clear the front line, but he had a cold trap ready for me. I'm forced to suicide the guard regiment and then place down another guard. Lotus Svard might be a good pair for another deck with expensive operating units, but these Soviet units aren't expensive to operate. Most of them have 1 operation cost. He still hasn't really touched my HQ either. When he pushes up with his tank, he's going to have a tough choice. Does he attack my Moroccans or attack my HQ? I would go for the Moroccans. You always want to go to the source of the problem, not the effect. But he can destroy it with the order. I see the logic there. I don't have any serious guards. I don't want to lose the 1st Grenadiers, so I just retreat the other unit. I'm okay if he fires at my HQ with 9 attack. Many other decks wouldn't be, but I have a lot of healing in the waiting on the bench. You can afford to take chances like this. Now I can ambush him. 1st Grenadiers down. Attack with my Grenadiers, Panzergrenadiers, and instantly destroy that 9-9 unit. This is why you bring 2 of them. Spend your special card budget on that 1st Grenadiers if you're running France. But he's able to get another one. So I need to be choosy about what I suppress and what I route. I decide to route the Soviet Guard, because if I route the CC, that's kind of a waste. It's already at 1-1, when suppress can accomplish the same thing. Whereas if I suppress that Soviet Guard, it still would be at 1-2, so it's a slightly more viable unit. It's a very minor change though, so if you made a mistake on that, it would have been okay. Here comes his 9-9 Guard again. I have a Leopold though, so I can make him spend a lot more money on it. And attack his HQ. That 9-9 infantry is powerful, but if you keep retreating it, it takes forever to get in position. With enough retreat, there's no urgency at all. He surrenders. That deck just wore him down. I think he saw as soon as he had no answer to the Leopold, it was over and it was pointless. Let's move on to the next match. This one is against a standard Japanese rush deck. Nothing too interesting. I have a good draw at the beginning. This one's a clever move. I bypass his guard with the suppress, and then use my Panzer to take out his bomber. It's very lucky I had that specific card, or I wouldn't have had an answer for it. I would have been forced to throw away my crossfire next turn. There's crossfire. I don't want him building any board presence. If he's going to use that Japanese card, I think it's called expansion, I want him to spend credits to have to use it. Not use it by default. He seems to like those anti-order cards. He must have a PTSD from so many commando decks running around. But I have time to set up Moroccans and a bomber. This bomber is really good against these rush decks. It can snipe those weak units. I need to think about switching Tactical Strike for a Schutzen. But the Tactical Strike comes in really handy for those 3-cost Soviet tanks that do 2 self-damage. This deck is probably fine as it is. Bomber comes in handy. I take out his anti-order infantry. And I can move in the front line. That suppression was mainly to get a draw, though it is a nice added benefit. I can fire off my Call to the Colonies without triggering it. So this is interesting. I split my attack between the HQ and that infantry. I want his defense to be at a 2, so if he does suicide into my infantry in the front, it'll destroy his unit. Whereas previously with 3 defense, it would have survived the attack. He's able to get through anyway. Luckily he doesn't have expansion. That's no problem. I can destroy it with my bomber, and get a draw from it. It's towards the end of the game here, and again, there was no one decisive moment, but then suddenly things keep getting better and better for you, and you find yourself with 6 defense in the front line versus a Japanese rush deck. That's not an easy thing to pull off. That second French regiment is very good here. My Fury Bomber now attacks it at 2. I can do a dramatic damage to his HQ from the front line now, even at 3 operation cost. He's down to 2 health. At this point, the only thing that would save him is To the Last Man, which destroys all units. But something tells me he doesn't have that. He surrenders. Alright, on to the final match. You know in the final match, they're the best of the best. Final match now, this time versus Commandos. I've tested this deck now enough against Commandos. I would say it wins more often than not. It probably has a 60% win rate, possibly higher. I've only done 4 matches against Commandos, and 3 of them are wins. It's not quite a big enough sample size, but I think this match is very indicative of how actually this deck can deal with Commandos, even under the worst circumstances. You'll see here, I throw down my infantry, I don't get the draw from it. I throw down my ARADO, I also don't get a draw from that. He has a massive card advantage now. I'm trying to trick him into thinking I'm a rush deck, and he takes the bait. Thankfully, he's wasting pin cards on it now. Blitz Doctrine will only reinforce that idea in his head. Out of all of them, I choose the Flampanzer because it has the highest health, and potentially it can destroy any units I route, or that annoying commando that sets your defense to 1. Rather than contest doctrine, it's important to get as many health points into the field as possible when you're facing Commandos. I have 9 points there now. Here comes the first Commando raid. Generally with these Commando decks, when you're playing them, the longer you can wait, the better. I would say if the enemy isn't set to wipe out your HQ entirely on this turn, I would wait. You can get up to 14, 15 credits, and then deliver like a massive turn where Commandos, you can fire 2 Commando raids and end their HQ in a single turn. This was a tough choice. So if I chose the Panzer train, that would give me more health in the field, but I felt the King Tiger was important because this deck is based on orders. If I can wait a little bit longer and block his orders, that might win me the game. Let's see if this gamble pays off. It was a really tough bet. It's possible I would have won with the other one, the other train, but I really don't know. Here comes the second Commando raid. I don't have many units in the field, so he's going to do a lot of damage to me. This guard is very anti-commando. It's lucky I drew that. But what's unlucky so far is that I haven't drawn any HQ defense buff cards. Not my Moroccans or Call to the Colonies. He loses both commandos to it. But he's able to snipe it. Luckily, this is set up perfectly for a crossfire. If I hadn't been able to do that, that's okay. I could have used the Grenadiers and then ROUT. In fact, that may have been a better move than crossfire. It would have given me more health in the field. Yeah, now that I'm watching this match now, I should have done Grenadiers and ROUT on the 2 Commandos and not crossfire. So I have no board presence now. Yeah, I'm paying for it now. Watch this. He's just hitting me hard with Protected Convoy. It gets really close. So by this point, I am screaming for something to improve my HQ defense. I throw down the ARADO, hoping to get a draw. Nothing. I fire Suppression, hoping to get a draw. Nothing. At this point, I'm so desperate I need a Grenadier in the field, not even targeting a Commando, just to give something to draw fire away from my HQ. Thankfully, I think he's used just about all of his Commando raids. Using the Leopold here is a mistake. He'll get access to that Commando again. I'm trying to draw for something that'll improve my HQ's defense, but it's still not coming. I decided not to move to the front line because I don't want them attacking my infantry to lower its defense and then fire Commandos afterwards. I need to preserve that unit as much as possible. Here comes more Commandos. Unlucky strike on my HQ, down to 6. And now my Grenadier is nearly useless. It only has 1 health, and then he gets a lucky kill on it. Second regiment here. That guard is excellent against Commandos, because unlike Mobilize, Commandos cannot stop it from increasing the defense of your units. Probably what I should have done is fired off the Suppression and then used the Fighter so I could get an extra draw. I'm still trying to draw for some kind of HQ defense. Now, luckily I draw that first Grenadiers. It's very unusual to be on turn 12 in the game and still have no HQ defense cards. But that's a good test of this deck. Even under the worst circumstances, you can survive and maybe win. We'll see. And that's extremely unlucky, too. I lose that first Grenadier's guards, so that's the last of my units that really counter his Commandos. But the cavalry has arrived. It is turn 12, and I can afford my King Tiger. Let's see if he can break through. This is why you bring Contest Doctrine, even against Commandos. He's desperately searching for a Commando. This is a risky play. I want to destroy that Commando unit, but also it lowers the defense on my units, so in case he does fire down a Commando, that increases the chance it hits my HQ. That was a very risky move, and I'm not sure about the payoff for that. He tries to use that Commando that sets my defense to 1, but it doesn't work because the Tiger is shielding the support line from deployment effects. I'm in such a defensive mindset, I almost don't notice. But then I realize, oh wait a minute. I can one-shot his HQ. I can use the Falke Wolf to fire, bring him down to 10. I have 9 credits left. As long as I break through that routed unit, all that's standing between his HQ and my King Tiger is that routed unit. With literally 0 credits to spare, I destroy his HQ with the Tiger. the King Tiger gives the win against Commandos. An amazing match with the worst possible luck and such a dramatic ending. Check out my sponsorship links down below. I've got a guide about how to make money on YouTube. And thank you so much for watching and subscribing. I'm very close to monetization. Keep it up, guys.